25% of our lives in bed. I would say definitely, like in my case, I don't sleep quite that many. I sleep 6, 7, 20% of the time. Never thought of it as that much of the time. And a good bed really makes a lot of sense. Makes more sense when you figure out how much of the time you actually spend in a bed.
Might help that shoulder.
That's correct. Get that rest. So anyhow, Raymond, I enjoyed the little comment.
We got the annual gumbo cook-off, 6th annual gumbo cook-off with Steamboat and Frank's. That's all the way in January 28th at Frank's downtown. But I want to remind y'all, it's for Julia Artigo. That's coming up. Little Julia needs your help. If you see at Steamboat or at Frank's, buy some tickets.
Okay, I see here.
Get some obituaries?
Oh,
I don't know if you want to hit those now.
I better get them because you're going to be fussing at me at the end. Ms. Winnie Mesh Zarang, born December 16, 1914, died December the 14th. That would have been last Thursday. Right. She was, of course, the mother of our late sheriff, Howard Zarang Sr. And she was survived by daughters, Beverly Castano, who I saw, and Velma Descant. I was able to see her, and daughter-in-law, Ruth Zarang. And she was, I think, about 97. Yeah, 97 years old. 97 years young, because she was good right till the end. So our deepest sympathies. I was able to visit with the family. I knew her personally. Mr. Emmett Ledoux is another person that died while I was gone to New Orleans to the ball game last weekend. He was 98. So people are living old. So y'all might have to put up with me for a while.
That's why I always tell you what I want at my funeral. I was last week, so.
I had not seen Mr. Emmett in a long time. Of course, when they get old like that, they naturally slow up. But he survived by his wife of 74 years, Miss Louise Harvey Ledoux, and of course, daughter Glenda Shaw, the late deceased federal judge John Shaw, who lived here in Opelousas, and then they had moved over to Lafayette. Marie Ledoux, sister Marie Ledoux. So my deepest sympathies to the Emmett Ledoux family.
And also, how about Miss Dean that passed away?
Oh, how about that? She was also pretty good
87.
age, 87. Right here.
Welcome back, KSLU.
And she was, before marriage, she was a pastoric from the Port Barre area. And she survived by her sons, Frank Jr., Donald, William, who is Billy, Douglas, who's Dougie, and James. And they live in Longview. He is the mayor of Longview, Texas. How about that? And then one more, Greg.
Don't forget Greg.
Greg. They said here in Opelousas, I know he used to live in Karen Crow, I think, but he must have moved to Opelousas. Good. And the daughter, Betty Rosa, and her husband, Nicky Rosa, from Brobridge.
Greg drove by the office the other day. I wasn't in, but he left a check for Breakfast with Santa. Left me a nice voicemail. So, good guys, the whole crew.
The whole crew, our deepest sympathies. And I've got another one here that I had not seen in a long time. He's almost my age, 73, and I'm speaking of Gene Hidalgo Sr. And I had seen Gene a few years ago when he moved back to our area, and he was involved in some of the amateur boxing that was taking place locally. My deepest sympathies. And of course, Mr. W.A. Bill Darling, a longtime friend of mine and a longtime customer of mine. He, of course, was in the oil-field industry for many, many years, very successful, I might add to that statement, and also very active in horse racing, very successful in quarter horse racing. We don't have a lot of success stories in the quarter horse racing that, you know, I'm really aware of. John Lionel Swallow and his family, of course, have come up with some
lately.
Big home runs. Yeah. But Mr. Bill won some major futurities over the years, and just a real quiet guy, took care of his business, and of course he survived by his son Bruce Darling, and then of course Karen Falgout and her husband Jerry, who were my backdoor neighbors.
Sure.
So, and I think, and then of course also, is there another one? Susan Urban and her husband. I'm not sure. They live out of state. But again, my very deepest of sympathies on the death of Mr. Bill Darling.
I got another sponsor to get to. Go to the El Pico de Gallo Mexican Restaurant in Cantina. That's inside the Quarters Casino and Travel Plaza, right here north of Opelousas at I-49 North Exit 23. Go by for gaming. Go by for good Mexican authentic food. Go by the deli to get crispy, crunchy chicken all day, every day. They've got drawings. They've got 50 of the newest poker machines that you can go and have a good time with. They've got gasoline and diesel with the Chevron. Go tell Pat Willis, the general manager, we said hi. And how about this? Show some photos real fast, Matt. Kick into these. I went to the Lunch for the Lighthouse. It's the men's lighthouse mission here in Opelousas, and I saw Miss Hannah, Robert, Donald, and of course Johnny Carrier, who runs the Lighthouse Mission. A lot of folks may know him, and they had a huge crowd right here at the Opelousas Civic Center building. And I saw our two friends with the brand new Varsity that's opened up on Cresswell Lane, little sandwich shop, hamburger shop, and grill.
I was there last week. Real nice. It was a service station convenience store that has been completely renovated, very neatly done. And the smaller, young, well, about the same age, Greg Sam was there, and I introduced myself to him.
And Tim Caron on the left.
Opelousas young man.
That's right.
And we wish them well in their new endeavor.
And he's got a little boy that plays at Westminster, Tyler, who he and my little boy Andrew played together at St. Ignatius. They grew up together for years and years playing soccer. And I saw the whole Wagley family there. Let's see, who else we've got? Oh, we've got Pastor Dean Rydbeck, who's the new pastor here at Hope Presbyterian. He and his wife were there. Very nice couple.
We showed a picture of he and his wife at the function we attended at Reg and Marie's home recently.
Exactly, and I saw Mike Artigo there, of course, who's, I guess, general manager at the Beauchene truck stop right now.
And restaurant and the whole operation there.
And I saw Father James Brady with St. Andrew Church and Deacon Sammy DC. Good morning. And Leka Hannon, our fire chief, and Chief Perry Gallo
of the police department.
That's right. And Brent's Catering did it, out of Grand Coteau, Louisiana. Good guys there, and they did a great job again. The stuffed pork roast was excellent. And Mike Fontenot, who works over with the Lighthouse Mission, who's got a great success story from the work he's done there. They gave a nice award to Miss Billy Jo Casanova, who's retiring from the board there, has helped out for many, many years, married to Bob Casanova.
And at the microphone doing the presentation, Miss Amanda
Turner, and they gave her an award as well for all the hard work she's done. I saw our friends from Dupree Carey, Willie Joe Godshaw, and some of the ladies, Miss Kim Smith there, and Gary in the front, the comptroller, I guess is what you'd call it.
CPA comptroller.
Yep, and they had a nice testimony from this gentleman, Mr. Donald Shaner, who's, I guess you call him a graduate from the Lighthouse Mission and the good work that they do there. And also some of our other friends, Miss Cindy Vaillant, Miss Mary Fitzgerald, Miss Susie Peck. And I got one more photo I want to show from the event. Two sisters that I never get to see in the same place at the same time. Miss Marie Dupree on the right and Miss Paula Mills on the left, and of course, two sisters, the Martinez sisters.
Martinez sisters, right.
Good morning, and they always have a smile and always talkative and in a good mood. And they didn't steal that. They got that from Mama, for sure. Good morning. So anyway, that's all my photos. I got all my sponsors. Oh, how about this? I saw Philip Andrepont there with the whole crew from Andrepont's, and they've got a new bunch of Huggies for, what is it, $1, $2?
$2.
$2 if you go by Andrepont Printing. They've got when a Bama fan sheds a tear, share a Huggy. With the LSU Bama BCS National Championship Huggies, go by Andrepont Printing, AndrepontPrinting.com if you want to swing by the store, and they got all the ads and the purple and gold.
I like this. Tigers control the tide.
That's right.
Let's hope they control the tide on the 9th of January, right?
Good morning, Philip and Andre and Doug and the whole crew over there.
Philip gave us each a Huggy. You threw yours?
I put mine down where it's going to go in my bag. I don't want you to take it.
I'm taking mine right now. Saw him at the Elks Lodge last night. He was really, really high on a young lady. What graphic designer is her title? He says she really, and he says and his young son, of course, Andre, is very involved. And he says they think outside of my box. But he says, you know what? It's good thoughts, and he says, I like the way they designed this hug. She acted, and I'm sorry, I don't know her name. I didn't write it down, and he didn't mention you, Sugar.
We'll have time to get to know her.
Another time, that's correct. Another person who died and was well respected and known by most people in the Port Barre area was Mr. Frank Francis.
Right.
In fact, I spoke to Joe Fred, must have been Saturday. Joe Fred was going Saturday morning, he was going to the funeral over at Sunset Grand Coteau area. Mr. Francis was heavily involved. His kids were all involved in sports. He has one daughter that was an excellent basketball player. She's now a coach at Port Barre High.
Two daughters that were excellent basketball players for sure. Trinella that coaches at Port Barre. And Connie that coaches over at Opelousas Catholic.
Okay, well, good. So real good. And another person who died, and I always thought she was a nun.
Me too. I always call her Sister Burns.
Sister Burns, but she's not a sister. Miss Mary Burns,
right,
who was the head mistress over at Academy of the Sacred Heart in Grand Coteau, while Megan and all of her friends were there. And we dealt with her a little bit when I made my contribution each year. Then she put us in touch with Miss Ori. Miss Ori would help us out. But Miss Burns...
Who's very involved with the Acadiana Catholic magazine, Miss Ori.
Okay, all right. And she was not, Miss Burns was not...
relatively young.
Relatively young person. And she had received her primary education at Mount Carmel Academy in New Iberia, and her secondary education at Academy of the Sacred Heart in Grand Coteau. And she had received degrees from Maryville College, University of Louisiana, right here in Lafayette, and Tulane University.
Where Megan is.
Just a beautiful, the smile right here is the smile you got when you visited with her. I think this covers the obituaries.
We had a lot to cover this week. We had made the comment we didn't have too many the last couple of weeks. But
that's correct. I see where Sleed is moving ahead with the Equine Center.
It sure looks like it when you pass on the interstate.
Yep, and they are trying to promote a $10 million bond issue to build one of the nicest facilities of this sort in Louisiana, in the South. And if that can occur, more people coming into our area, meaning more jobs, more opportunities.
And I see Evangeline Downs is okay with it, is what they've said.
That's what the article says, that Evangeline Downs is with it, so that's good news. Some more good news is the little Tesh Brewery over in Arneville is coming out with a new brand, or a new flavor. New flavor. The Mardi Gras, Curil Mardi Gras. So that should be, yes, sir.
Just in time for Mardi Gras.
And you want me to get my prayer book?
I think it's about that time, sir.
We want to wish everybody a very happy and holy and safe holiday season, both the Christmas, which is now, and the New Year, which will be coming up the following week. And of course, this is a time of the year where Catholic churches have the highest attendance of any time during the year. So we recommend that you please attend the church of your choice, of course, each and every week at the program. And this week, my thought will be like this: Lord and Father, my trust in you is boundless. With your hand, you have taken me into your loving care, and you will guide me during my life and in my death. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for telling a friend. And thank you, Andrew, for assisting.
Thank you.